Happy to see you all. Today, we are going to learn about ostomy care. This is not an unfamiliar subject, but in palliative care, this is one of the most common thing that we encounter. So, this session will be taken by Mr. Imaraju Soru. He is an MSc nurse. He has more than 15 years of experience in palliative care. Now he is working as a nursing superintendent in Pain Relief and Palliative Care Society at MNT Institute of Oncology and Regional Cancer Center. And Swaroop, welcome and over to you.
Oh, thank you, Shiba. I would like somebody to share the screen for me.
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm in a home care. So
Okay.
do that. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Okay. So anyways, as Shiva said, and the team said that my name is Swaroop and I'm a nursing superintendent working in the Pain Relief and Palliative Care Society, which is located in the state of Telangana, Hyderabad. We also cover a lot of patients from the home care as well as a neonatal palliative care. We run a neonatal palliative care too, and also the children hospice in Kukatpalli, Hyderabad. So it's a great opportunity to discuss about one of a topic which is more important for the nurses in palliative care. Before that, I would like to wish all the nurses who participated in that and appreciate you for joining in the palliative care. And I hope you will be learning a lot of things, new presentations in the given time. Okay, so let me just start my session. Maybe followed by that, we may have a few questions also too. So if such questions are raised, please mention in the chat so that we'll discuss about that after the session. Talking about the stoma care, we all know about how it looks like and how to care the stoma. But what are we going to do or learn more in that in this session? This is what is it. Yeah, next slide, please. Next slide. So when we talk about the ostomy, a brief information about what ostomy is all about. So ostomy is an artificial opening. We all know that. It is a Greek word which means the mouth or the mouth-like kind of opening. And there are two types of ostomies you have to consider for. Number one is the input ostomy, which are called as a tracheostomy, gastrostomy, feeding jejunostomy. And the output ostomies, we know that it is of colostomy, urostomy, and ileostomy. I'm sure that whenever the patient undergo any kind of such surgeries, any kind of ostomy, it looks pretty good during the first week or 10 days period of time, because just after the surgery, that'll be all fine. But I'm more worried about a lot of patients who doesn't even care about that, and not even the professionals even talk about that aftercare. During the surgery, the tracheostomy looks perfect, even the gastrostomy, colostomy, or the urostomy. But when the days pass on, many of our patients will have a lack of knowledge about how to take care of that at home. This is what bothered us, and we thought that we have to implement it. A lot of our patients we see who are coming to the refer to the palliative care come only for the colostomy care. What it exactly mean? It just means that palliative care has a major role in taking care of such patients just after the surgery and before the surgery and continued aftercare. So this is brief about the ostomy. Next slide, please. So preoperative counseling, when you talk about that, it all happens with the teamwork. A lot of times, the information will not just be shared only with the doctor, nor any other professionals. Even it would be a housekeeping team where the family concerns are more important too. So they feel that they're more comfortable and they're happy to share with some information to any of the people in the team. So teamwork is more important. When you see such patients who are approaching for colostomy or tracheostomy, whatever the ostomy is, so you may have to discuss with your whole team regarding what is a plan. So what are the ideas? We see a lot of times the housekeeping team come forward in talking about that, which means that you can do that work only with the good team. So everyone has to involve in that, number one. Number two is the individual care. So it all specifically mentioned individual care is nothing but it doesn't mean that one patient have the same kind of colostomy and it is completely different from that. So what kind of aftercare I'm going to get? It is all individualized. After education, even education plays a major role in that. And it is all individualized. That is what we have to tell to the family members. And also the team has to understand the individual care of the patient. Explanation. How does it really look like? So if you have a colostomy or the ostomy, how your future is going to be? how we are going to survive all the other days, how are those days are going to be. A lot of questions may rise from the patient and the family side. Many of our patients who are about to undergo the colostomy, they just go to the Google and search for the information too. There are a lot of people like that. But by seeing some patients, they may get tensed about that, they may become anxious and they stop doing that. There are such a lot of patients who really doesn't have a good communication or a good explanation about how it is going to be, what are the advantages of that and the disadvantages of that. When you start talking about that, many of the questions or the queries can be answerable to that. So explanation is more important. And what kind of emotional support we are going to provide, we'll talk about that later on. And the site of the marking, where exactly it is going to be and how your future days are going to be. We may have to explain it to them. And yeah, so prepare the patient and family for the ostomy. So the patient and the family has to understand what it is going to be and how the future of the patient and the whole family is going to be. When they come to a point where, okay, this is going to help us, even though the lifestyles pattern has to be changed. That is what the family and the patient has to get into their mind. Next slide, please. So of this ostomy, there are common problems. There are a few problems what I mentioned up here, which the patients may experience. A lot of times, it is more commonly happening there. Excoriation of the skin may happen more frequently because of the prolonged sticking of the bags to that area and unclean, unhygiene, which may leads to a lot of infections, and you may see a lot of skin excoriations there. This is one of a problem. Number two, the foul smell from the stoma bag or the stool leakage, which is disgusting for all the family members. So even the patient also feels very uneasy with these kind of presentations. So none of them like to have such foul smell coming out in a different way. So all have an experiencing it in the other way, and he himself is having it in a different pattern. So which has to be considered. The foul smell and the fistulas are not most commonly to say, but often frequently patients may develop when there is a local metastasis in the abdomen. There are a lot of fistulas might also be one of a big problem for patients. So when you ever see such patients with the colostomy, you may have to have an inspection of the whole abdomen, looking around how the progression is, how it is going to be, and what are the surrounding areas looks like. So everything has to be considered in such situations. So stitches around the stoma also has to be seen. Sometimes even may patients have bleeding around that area too. So consider that, look into that. Not just that, as a nurse, you may also have to look into the psychological problems. Patients might get depressed about their situations. They don't like that opening in the other side, the social issues and anxiety, depression, more worried, fear of that. A lot of things has to be considered. So every time when you see such patients with the ostomy, you may have to touch all these aspects of care. Next slide, please. Yeah, in the assessment of stoma, before you go do some inspection around, so assessment plays a major role. Based on your assessment, the management continues, and also the follow-up is also be more comfortable. So talking about that, number one, look at the stoma color. The normal good appearing stoma should look like a cherry red in color, which means that it is fresh and pure. Number two, look for the bleeding. Usually it is seen the time of a cleaning. So sometimes a lot of pressure applied, you may see a lot of bleeding out there. And edema around the stoma also will be seen. And herniation and the prolapse of the stoma, which is 1.5 centimeter to 3.5 centimeters, which is found in the ileostomy. Retractions also has to be considered. Look into that, how good the protrusion is. Do you think the stool will be directly collected into the bag? Nor will there be any local leakage, or the skin may get contaminated with that. Also look for the stenosis and the peristomial skin condition. Next slide, please. A basic information that maybe all our nurses are more comfortable and easy for us to do it. But when you talk about the patients from the remote areas, for example, there is a patient from our hospital who lives somewhere approximately 400 kilometers away from the Hyderabad, which means that they are very close to the Maharashtra, where it is all the remote places where there is no approach of the medical professionals even. Can't even imagine that those patients will really not take care of that. They don't know how to take care of this. But still, it is important for the nurses to give a care plan and share this information to the family members in their own languages. Sometimes I write it in my own mother tongue. Sometimes we write it in Hindi. Sometimes people who can understand or read English, we write it in the English language. A small handouts which will be given to them. So once they go home, these are all the things which you may have to look into. Number one, wash with the soap and water. That's all. Make it clean and dry all the time. It should not be wet every time. So make it open, leave it fresh for a while, and then you can connect the bags again. Try to use the correct sized bags, not the bags which are irregular in size. Empty the bag when it is 3/4 full. I have seen, even it looks very simple for us, for the nurses, as a professionals. But somewhere it is important for the family to learn more about how to take care of that. As I told you, there is a patient who was been catheterized recently in one of our hospital, and for a reason that he doesn't have any kind of urinary infections. Just because to prevent that bed sore, he was put on the catheter, for example. After a week or time, he developed pus collected or sedimentations collected in the urinary bag. What does it just generally mean? It means that the care what we provided or the way you inserted the catheter was a failure. Like you have inserted the infections into the bladder, which means that the patient has to suffer a lot just because of this. Sometimes even patients may die just because of this infections itself. So to prevent that, you may have to have a good education plan or the protocol which has to be given to the family members. So family, at least when there are few given points to the family, at least out of which they can do to the maximum level. So the effort will also be given by the family members. Unless they are not taught about this, it will never happen anywhere, because a lot of patients we see are from a poor and very poor background. Very poor is nothing but they don't have money even to eat. Don't expect the good nursing care from such kind of family members even. So keep it in mind every time. Even though there are a good educated people, they go search everywhere and they gather the information. But sometimes they more talk about the technology and good things to happen. But the basic and simple information is what we are talking about it right now. Try to use a soft cotton material to clean that particular area. Avoid powders is much better, because powders itself can make the surrounding areas dry. So not excess creams can also be helpful for that. Unless it is a fungal infection, go for some fungal powders for a period of time and stop it again. Come back to the normal pattern of using it, like using a soap water, washing, and correct size bags. Leave it open for a while. Let it get good ventilation. No pressure will be applied in that particular area. So the last point is about the skin excoriation. As we said that in the last slide, it was about the skin excoriation, which means that the skin gets damaged just because of the lot of pressure applied in that particular site. Not even the ostomy site, but even also during the tracheostomy. I'll talk about that later in the few slides. And it is managed with the Carya powder, which is an extract of the gum acacia, a plant. The extract from the plant is called as a Carya powder. And we also add egg white application, mixed together and apply it. We'll talk about that in the next slides. Next slide, please. I'm going to introduce few bags, the colostomy bags, which are available with us. Have a look at that. It also have a good circumferences and measuring millimeters around. So look at the surrounding and place a bag just close to the patient. So you'll come to know that how big the colostomy or the opening is all about. So based on that, you can cut it in a circular manner, and you can just peel off the sticker from that, the red marking you see. From there, you may have to just peel it up to the other end, and then you can have to stick up to this. And at the lower part of the screen, you can see over the back, there is a opening up below, which has 3 foldings, and you have to just fix it out there. So the collected stool will not be leaked anywhere, and it'll remain there for a time being. And once it is 3/4 full, somewhere you may have to go out to the washroom, open it, and clean the bag. Cleaning the bag in the sense, put some water into that, flush it well, and just drain the bag. So that bag will be emptied, and it can be used for more than 5 to 6 days approximately. So unless it is contaminated, when you see a lot of blood discharge, blood coming out of that, or the pus discharge, and a very foul smelling, so the bags might not be used for more than that time. You may have to change it more frequently. So this is a kind of a sticky bag, which also have a code number of 17501. This is how we indent it in our hospitals. So in our hospital, we have a supply of this, and bags have been given to the patient. 2 bags were given to the patient per month. Frankly to say, one bag can remain for a week. Assume that for 2 weeks, the patient will be comfortable. What about the rest of the 2 weeks then? So overall, these bags are also available in the pharmacies. Somewhere it is expensive, I can say, because a lot of our poor patients we see can't be handling that. The one who really doesn't have a money to eat can't depend on buying those bags. I don't think so. They may just leave it open, or they may just tie it up with a cloth or something else like that. So which is not correct, but somewhere it is expensive. It may last for a week, I said. So they can't buy a lot of bags too. So you have another option in the next slides I'm talking about. So this bag is a bit comfortable. On the other side, you can see the color of the bag. It is not so transparent. You have a 2 layered sheets over there, which means that on the outside layer, it is completely dark. So nothing is visible. The stool collected into the bag will not be visible. And I'm sure that these bags will not leak because it have a very good stickiness over the lower end. So you can tie it well. So once you open it, the stool can be collected back out. Yeah, next slide, please. This is another kind of bag, 2 bags you see on the left side of the screen. There is a bag, which is a plastic, a good rubber bag. And it also has a belt out there. This belt can be fixed over to the buckles there. And on the lower end, there is no fixing kind of thing to this. So it can't be fixed just like that, like earlier you have seen, or on the right hand side, you have a small plate which can be fixed up to them. So it doesn't have, because this is a bags which are available from the Ostomates India from Karnataka. We used to purchase that from there. So these bags are helpful for patients who have a very good protrusion. So it means that the stool will come directly collect into the bag. That is what the idea is. For such kind of patients, it is more helpful. Overall to say, it is not so expensive, and it can last for more than 6 months if you use it well. When compared to the last slide, the colostomy bag, this is more comfortable and very cheaper. We sometimes even give it for free of cost for patients who are very poor and poor. Bags are helpful. On the other side, it's all visible. It's a transparent bag. But sometimes when you talk about that, it doesn't have a stickiness to that. It doesn't have a plaster or a stickiness to that area. So surely the patient will not have a lot of excoriations around those areas. Every time when it is filled, you have to tie it up and underneath and open it every time, because when it doesn't really have a plate or something to clag up to that. It is just because of it has to last long. When you talk about fixing devices also to this, it may not be useful for not even a month. We tried that even. So frequently you may have to change that. So you can just open it for a while. Once it is full, you can just wash it. So we give 2 bags to the patient and 1 belt. So 1 bag is full, they can just take it out, wash it, and keep it back again. Because this is a ostomy is something like, but it means that it is the opening which is out there doesn't have a control. Anytime the stool may pass up. Many of our patients often say that, okay, I'm not sure when the stool may come out of it, so I have to fix it all the time. They keep it 24 hours to say, but which is not so correct. When the stool is collected now, this is what I'm talking about, the education. The nurses have to talk to the patient and the family that when to remove it, when to leave it all alone, make it open, proper ventilation to that, reduce the skin excoriations. On the other side, right hand side of the screen, you can see another kind of bag, which is a sticky bag, very minute, thin, transparent polythene bags with the lower end, which can be fixed up. But these kind of bags are not so helpful for patients for the long-term use. This is just only for the temporary use. It is more helpful, and it doesn't have a very good real quality to that. Sometimes it may leak, or when there is a 3/4 of stool filled up in there, it may just get leaked out too. So it may get even disconnected too. So we don't prefer that unless there is an emergency. Maybe for the time being, when you don't have those other bags available, then you can go for that. Unless it is not so worthy, I can say. Yeah, next slide, please. This is another kind of bag which have a bit of technology added to that. A good handwriting information sheet out there. So in a circular motion, it has to be cut up, and you can just cut according to the size of the bag. You have a good clamping system which can be disconnected directly from the bag. So anytime you can use it, wash it well, and just keep it there, and it can't be sticked again. That's what. So it is also a kind of sticky bag where you can't reuse this bag. So somewhere these are the bit disadvantages in that. But on the other side, you can see it is not so transparent. The stool or the contents which are collected into the bag is not visible. So many times it gives a refreshment for the family members that, okay, I don't want to expose my stool, like I don't want my family members to look into that. So if such patients are there, maybe that would become considerable. Uh, and sometimes even more worried about expenses. It is more expensive again, approximately 250 to 300 rupees per bag. And also availability is also very less. So I can give you an example. I have been to one of a hospital. There are nurses who are trained in palliative care. They started a center there. One day I visited that hospital, and there is a patient with a colostomy. I'm surprised that there is a person, an expert of colostomy, coming up there and changing the bag, these kind of sticky bags. He has given 2 sticky bags, and he came and did all these things, and he charged approximately 1,500 rupees. I don't think the family can bear for that, but they really don't have an option. I'm surprised that all our nurses are trained in palliative care. They know what colostomy is and how to take care of that, but they did not go forward just because of, the learning experience gives you a lot of information. Sit and talk to the family. They are more concerned about if there is no bag, the stool get leaked everywhere. It will be disgusting for the family members or even in the hospital staff too. To prevent that, they are ready to spend that money. The nurses have to take that as a challenge, counsel well, communicate well with the family members, try to involve in that. So that will not be a burden for them. When you teach the family members in our hospital, like we also have a home care where we have approximately 300 to 400 patients, out of which there are more than 25 patients with the colostomy. Most of the patients were educated well. We as a nurses, as a professionals, can't go every day and talk to them and do the colostomy care every day. But the family has taken the such responsibilities in doing it well. So they'll come to know as a judgment at last, which one would be perfect? Which one do I go for? So we have to leave an option to them at the last moment of time. So talking about the expenses, talking about the skin excoriation, maybe this is having a bit of disadvantages to that. The well-off people can buy and just leave it just like that. Maybe for the temporary colostomy, that will be more helpful when compared to the permanent. Next slide, please. This is how the colostomy looks like. On the right-hand side, you can see the lower abdomen, there is a protrusion, the opening. So it is not so clear to say, but this is a lot of protrusion coming out of the stomach layers there. So which means that maybe all the bags might not be fixed for that. So maybe the belt kind of bags would be more comfortable. So very cheaper, easy to use again. Yeah, next slide, please. Next slide, please. You have to see that colostomy is cherry red in color. The protrusion is good enough, not very bad. And somewhere I'm more worried about in my inspection, I look around the colostomy side. So you can see a lot of redness around, very minute layers of lines around the colostomy, which is red in color, which means that the patient may develop sores again. So skin excoriation, again, the patient really can't go for the sticky bags. So to prevent that, let it become dry so that the pressure will be relieved and it will become active soon. Yeah, next slide, please. So there are a few nursing issues which are being observed in such situations. Patients with the colostomy is about the irregular bowel actions. Bowel actions, I'm going to talk about that again. So meanwhile, I will briefly tell about that. So habitual formation, irregular bowel actions is just because of, the body is not used to that situations, incontinence, the stool get collected just directly. So try to bring it back to the normal. Habitual, you may have to, that's a correct word to say. So when there is an irregular bowel action, make the body to get adjusted to the situations, and so that the stool will be collected only in a fixed time. Number two, when there's a constipation or obstructions in the abdomen, or hard stool collected into that, and so that the patient could not pass stool, so relieve that constipation by using an enema. So using with the suction catheter, you can just introduce it directly into the colostomy and release the enema into that. So maybe after some time, the stool can be collected in. And sometimes you even go for the suppository when there is 2 to 3 days of constipation. Before that, use your little finger to examine how the condition is. If you find it as a real hard stool in there, no enema, no suppository is going to help. Even the laxatives too. Only thing you have to do is manual evacuation. You have to use your little finger, not introduce any other fingers even. Use a little finger. So very gently add some liquid lignocaine jelly into that so that the patient will be more comfortable and pain-free. So try to remove those hard stool which is blocking the passage, so that makes sense, and then go for the enema or the suppository, which means that it is more helpful for the patient. On the other side, sometimes the patients may also develop diarrhea. So try to increase intake of fluids and hospitalize as early as possible, because the corrections need to be done at such particular times. Flatless, most of our patients have such problem where when there is a irregular bowel actions happening. So flatless is also one of a major problem where it is so uneasy and not so comfortable for the patient and the family. So these are the nursing issues. Try to talk to the patient and tell them that how it is going to be. Next slide, please. A brief about the dietary advices. So number one, eat regularly. Do not skip your meal. So, and also empty the bowels producing gases. And so when adding some new foods to the diet, try to add a little bit of with the other foods too. Never ever try something which is new to that. And sometimes it may also leads to the loose stools too, when there is infections too. And the small and frequent meal is what we follow here. A lot of our patients, we tell them that do not take a lot of food at a time. You may have a vomiting or you feel very uncomfortable and uneasy with the distended abdomen. So try to take a little bit of food frequently and chew thoroughly so that it gets digested very easily. So limit foods containing simple sugars as it may aggravate the diarrhea. So avoiding the spicy foods and changing in the habits is also more important. Fiber diet, easily digestible, and it is more comfortable for them. So 6 to 8 glasses of fluids each day, but not with the meal. Apart from the meal, you may have to take it. And also it has been mentioned where it can be given more frequently if the patient is able to take water or the fluids more often. Yeah, next slide. So how do we manage this excoriation? For sure, the patients who are put on the tracheostomy or the colostomy or the ileostomy, they will surely develop the skin excoriation around that colostomy site. It is all just because of prolonged pressure, no proper ventilation to that. There is nowhere the skin gets healed in that area. So, bit cautious about that. Prevention is better than cure. In my experience, when I've been to Canada 2 years ago, when I looked into a patient with colostomy, I was searching for the excoriation. I didn't find any patients with excoriation. It is all just because of a practical exposure, demonstrating to the family. Family plays a major role in that. None of the sites I saw a patient with excoriation and still there with the sticky bags. It all happens with whenever you start talking to them, sit and discuss with them, that will be more helpful for the patients and the family members. Prevention is better than cure, but sometimes when really there is a problem, you may have to take help of the carrier powder and the egg white. As I told you before, the carrier powder is a product from the gum acacia, a plant derived from the plant, an extract from the plant, and the egg white, the normal egg white from that. So mix these two, stir it well so that there will be no crystals forming into them. So mix it well, apply this carrier powder around the colostomy site, wherever the excoriation is found. This becomes a paste after all. The powder and this kind of egg white jelly preparation together forms as a good layer, and it has to be spread around the surrounding areas wherever the excoriation is found. Over that, you can't apply the bags directly, either sticky bags, whatever it is. You have to relieve the pressure over this. Carrier powder helps in the healing process, and egg white also helps in healing, as well as it binds as a layer in preventing the pressure applying over the damaged areas of the skin. That redness is nothing but prolonged pressure applied there. To prevent that kind of pressure again, that will be more helpful. Carrier powder and egg white mix it together, apply as a paste around that area, wait for 2 minutes, it becomes hard and dry. Meanwhile, you may have to take a polythene cover, just make a hole in the middle, wherever the bag, the colostomy opening is there, make a hole, fix it to that. So it gets stick to that directly, and it may take time, more 5 more minutes. You may have to wait for that. So the body layer has the surrounding medications with the Karya powder. It's an Ayurvedic medicine, and also the egg white together. So it is there over the skin and followed by overlapped by a polythene cover which has an opening at the colostomy side. And later on, you can just put the sticky bags directly. Here the question is, these colostomy bags are not directly applied over the Karya powder, over the skin, excoriated part. You have a layers of places where a lot of other medications and the polythene sheet is also placed to prevent that pressure. And there is a healing process happening behind that. When there is a pressure reduced in that particular site, there will be less pressure applied in that site. That will be helpful more to that. So you may have to just leave it for a while, and it can remain on the body for more than 2 to 3 days. On the third day, you have to come back and put some water over that. This hardness will come down and become soft. Like earlier during the preparation, you see the soft material there, it becomes dry. So open it well, use some soft cotton material, clean the surroundings, and you can see for the change. So before that, take a picture of the patient who is having this kind of skin excoriations. And when you start doing any procedure, look for the picture again. So day 1 and day 10, when you see the difference of both of these pictures, you'll come to know, okay, earlier it was the condition where it has a bad skin excoriation and a lot of bleeding is happening there, and it is so painful too, and bit of infected too. Maybe fungal infections would be one of the common cause of that. And on day 10, what is the changes you see? The management strategies or the plans or the protocols, what you implemented. It is not just meant to one nurse doing that every day, and it is all meant for all the nurses who are taking charge and taking care of such patients. So on the 10th day, you see the differences, which means that you have a clear evidence and the resources that these medications or the procedures what you used for this patient is more helpful. Next slide, please. This is a product named Karaya powder. It is also a product from the Ostomates India. It is prepared in Karnataka. We used to take a bulk of products from that companies. Yeah, this is Karaya powder, gum acacia, extract from the gum acacia. Next slide, please. So colonic irrigation, when you talk about that, irrigation from the colostomy, why do you have to irrigate that? This is a question. When you have a sticky bags available, when you have a reusable bags, rewashable bags, which last for more than 6 months, and there are sticky bags, which is a bit expensive, but still they can buy. So what is the best advantage with the colostomy, the colonic irrigation? How is it going to be beneficial? It is beneficial to establish a regular bowel habit. It is helpful for patients so that they'll not have this kind of excoriations. And this is just an irrigation. You need not put a sticky bags again and again. You'll not see the excoriation, or you not worry about the leakages from the bags. So clean the colon of gases and mucus and feces too. So prevent skin excoriation. More helpful, as I said, it can prevent the skin excoriations. It also remove irritant from the food ingested by the patient. So one thing to remember is, once the habit formed, it can be done alternative day. Next slide. On the other side, irrigation need to be continued lifelong. For the patients with a permanent colostomy, this colon irrigation is more helpful. And the habit formation only after 21 days. Just after the surgery, the patient can't be put up for the colonic irrigation. Let him stay back. Let him be with the regular sticky bags, not the reusable bags. But for the colonic irrigation, the habit formation only takes after 21 days. So irrigate daily only at a fixed time. Why I'm specifically talking about this is, our bowels have been habitual. Not everyone defecates in the same time. Not everyone have a similar pattern of defecating. Some use it, the Western latrines or the Indian latrines. Some go out to the field. So bowels have been used or habitual. So when you talk about that, even the bowels has to, even this situation also, the bowels need to be irrigated well in a fixed time. Why this is fixed time is, when you start doing it regularly in a fixed time, you do not have a lot of burden on that. So every time it continues. So when you talk about that, every day, 8 o'clock in the morning, when you start doing this, fix up a time game at 8 o'clock every day. Do it in the same time. So it becomes a habitual formation again. So that's a good advantage to that. After the colostomy irrigation, you need not put up the colostomy bags again. So it is all unnecessary again. You may just have to put a pad over that colostomy opening and leave it just like that. So when your bowels are being used to that, and that is more easier and convenient for the patient, prevent skin excoriation, more easier, and we can provide the sufficient bags to them. And one bag can be used approximately 4 to 6 months period of time. When I tried for the first time in 2018 to one patient, I thought is it going to be helpful? And I tried it on him. So the family were more accompanied, and they really took it as a challenge, and they don't want that my father to be getting all these excoriations and these things happening. So they took a good charge there, and they implemented very well. For 2 years, the patient survived until the time of his death. He was very comfortable with the colonic irrigation, and really it helped. At that time, it cost around some 600 to 700 rupees. Now it is approximately 800. I gave it to one of my patients also, who was worried and anxious and looking around for requesting all the nurses to provide some kind of colostomy sticking bags. I thought this is a person who really is in need of the colonic irrigation. It traveled from approximately 250 kilometers to collect 2 bags from our hospital. Looks like he doesn't have money. He borrowed money from somebody else and he came here. Can't expect him to buy all these things. So when such situations happen, it plays a major role in such kind of patients who are in need of that. He lives long, but how his future is going to be, how he can survive with the present situation. This is all the question arised for me, and I thought that okay, that would be more helpful for him. And when I taught him for 2 to 3 days, putting him in the hospital in our hospice, educated him of how to take care of that. This is how you have to do. When I talk about that, that is more comfortable for him. He did not come back for collecting the bags again. So coronary irrigation, lot of advantages with that. Yeah, next slide, please. So this is how it looks. It has 2 pieces out there with the belt attached also to that. So on the top end, you can see a bag filled with the 1500 ml of mineral water, and it also have a set and regulating system there, which can be locked all the time. And there is a funnel which has to be introduced into the colostomy. Overall, to say, number one, the bag which is below on the right end should be fixed up, just like the bags what I shown you before. It has to be fixed up with the belt surrounding the abdomen, and it has to be there. So you can see on the top end of this lower end bag, the funnel which you see on the other side has to come up from this layer because it has a 2 layers opening up here. So it can just directly come in contact with the colostomy. You can see the tip of the funnel will be entered into the colostomy by applying some lignocaine jelly over the colostomy site, and so that it becomes smoother and pain-free. You may just have to introduce it directly into that, and the bag which collecting 1500 ml of water has to be placed somewhere on the top end, maybe or to the IV stand, or fix it to the wall somewhere on the top end. So based on the gravity, the water will be collected directly into the colostomy through the drain bag. This is called as a drain bag. One is a filling bag and the other one is a drain bag. So after pushing up the water into that 1500 ml of water into that, you have to remove the funnel and the whole set. And this drainage bag remains with the belt attached there. So it may take approximately 20 to 30 minutes time for the large intestine to be evacuated. It may take some time, so the patient can just relax, keeping the bucket underneath. This is a bag which is just continued from the colostomy side towards the foot end. So the drainage, the stool which is collected into the bag can be collected directly into the bowl or the bucket into this. So the whole stool will be directly come into that. It may take some time. As a first initial period of time, it takes some situations where they may not do it well. Sometimes they may do it well. So you may have to be cautious, like how do the family do it, and how frequently are they doing it. Next slide, please. This is how the introduction of the bag is going to be. On the other side, you can see 2 bags are kept on the right hand side. One is a bag which collects 1500 ml of water, and it has to be placed on the top end. And the funnel you can see will be directly introduced into the colostomy. Initially, On the other side, the bag will be sticked, the other bag will be fixed over the colostomy, and from the top end, the mental water is being introduced into that. So the patient just can relax, fix up a time, let it be in a single time every day, 10 o'clock, that's fine, let it be there. So if the family or the mother or the father is going out for the work, so let them fix up a time and do it regularly. So it makes the bowels to move well so that the patients will never develop constipation. So irrigation plays a major role in that. Not so expensive. It can remain for more than 4 to 6 months, as I said. That will be more helpful. Next slide, please. Yeah, solutions used into that is plain water is more helpful, and sometimes the normal saline also will be helpful in the hospital setup. Soap water enema, most probably we don't prefer, and sometimes just like in enema, we prefer to that. These are the solutions which we use it for. Next slide, please. There are a few standard instructions which has to be given to the family members, or the nursing staff also has to learn about that. So start irrigating 3 months after the surgery. And number two, do not irrigate if there is diarrhea. Never go for that. And also through the ileostomy, to never irrigate. So don't irrigate more than once a day. This is what the family has to learn about. And 1 to 1.5 ml of liter of water has to be inserted into the large intestine. Lubricate the funnel well during the time of insertion. If not, it may lead to a lot of bleeding and more painful again. So do not use force to introduce the funnel into that, because when there are some loop kind of colostomies, you may not get it in a proper way. So just see for in your assessment itself, you have to understand what kind of colostomy is that. So next is releasing the water. Clamp it first and remove the tube from the stoma after running the fluid in. Clamp it before introducing the fluid into that. So wait for return flow. It may, as I said, it may take 30 to 45 minutes for you to for the stool to get collected or drained out of it. So that makes sense for the patients. They need not have, yeah, next slide, please. You have to seek for the help when there is a continuous blood oozing from the colostomy, which means that there would be an intestinal bleeding or subacute intestinal bleedings too, and sometimes the tumor burst and in the abdomen, and it may also lead to bleeding. So if such things happen, do not wait and inform to the team. So when there is a prolapse, retraction, or hernia, be cautious about what kind of bags are we using and how it is going to be helpful. When there is a colicky pain lasting more than 6 hours, you may have to seek for help from the medical professional, the palliative care physicians too. So when there is diarrhea, dehydration, constipation, and the abdominal distension, seek for the help. Colostomy, constipation is most common. So seek for the help, and so that if the constipation or other sufferings or the symptoms will be relieved from. So ileostomy not functioning for more than 24 hours, go for the help. And any periostomal skin problems, seek for help. Next slide, please. It all, as I told you before, the nurses plays a major role. I see a lot of nurses who are trained more in palliative care with a good experience. They take lead in such decision making. Number two, information sharing and a good education to the family, and also with the aftercare. So it's all with the holistic total care only. The good procedure or good support can be given to them in all the aspects, like social aspects. What are the social aspects they would expect for? They may have a lot of questions in that: psychological, physical, spirituality. So try to touch every aspect of the life of the patient. So he may just feel that why God is punishing me just because of this. I'm suffering a lot. I'm not a sinner. I didn't do any, I didn't hurt anyone, but still they have such questions in their mind. Social taboos still had that it is the colostomy or the opening, the stool collecting to that. Many may feel that it is all the curse, just because of that you are suffering today. Try to elevate that. Nurses plays a major role in that. Sometimes we take a lead even in absence of a doctor, even in the hospital. Even in the emergency situations, we don't depend on that. But only thing is, you have to be cautious about what you're doing, be confidential, and have a good follow-up and monitoring for that. Next slide. There are a few phases of the ostomy: shock or panic phase, and defense and retreat, or sometimes it might be denial. Acknowledgement is what you have to do. Adaptation and resolution. Yeah. Next slide. Physically, the patient, as I told you, that we all will be managing this. Apart from this, we don't do it. Most of our nurses do only the good skincare, managing the leakages, bad odor, and the fatigue, clothing changes, which plays a major role, and sleeping disturbances. May feel that, okay, once if I sleep to the other side, the bag may get disconnected, or there will be a lot of leakage. So what kind of sleeping patterns would be helpful for them? How to manage it at home? Nutrition and exercises, and the lifestyle changes. How the lifestyle has to be modified after getting this colostomy opening done. Yeah, next slide, please. Few psychological problems I would like to mention is the patients may get depressed, anxiety, uncertainty will also be seen, and the privacy, fear of recurrence. So this is my situation is going to be now. So what is my future going to be? A lot of such questions may arise from patients. So as nurses, you may have to even look into that. Try to elevate the fears of the patients. The depression, try to be there. Anxiety, tell them that don't worry, we are there with you. And negative thinkings, a lot of times patients may have such negative thinkings that there is no point of me being alive. So confidentially make sure that you have discussed and documented it well. Isolation, and isolated from the others too. So they may just go out of the place where the family is. Sometimes I see our patients in the home care setup, they would be somewhere in the entrance of the house or in the exit of the house. So they themselves may go out, is called as a self isolation. Sometimes the family may put the patient away from this, which is very hard for the patient also at this times. So try to address that symptoms, and then we will come to know that what to do. Yeah, next slide, please. Social preparation for the emergencies. If they are just in the situation where they really don't have a help, so try to provide all the medications nor the bags available, resources available close to them. Travel time, how to do. Workplace, what to be managed. Social and public obligations also has to be looked into. Stigma, commonly happening everywhere. Intimacy and sexuality. Most of the time, these are the words which will not be used in a public manner to everyone. When you are so close to the patient, and if the patient feels that it will be helpful for them if they come and talk about that with you. So you have to have a good communication skills developed at that time. And the caregivers and the partners relationship, these are the things which they don't come out all the time. And the financial management, more of burden, they don't have money to eat or do their routine works, and they're more dependable on the bags. Yeah, next slide. Spirituality, acknowledging, searching, and applying a meaning to that, and never ever lose the faith of, okay, this is happened just because of you did some curse or the mistakes. Never ever say that. Let their faith be there, but sometimes you may have to talk about their wishes. Okay, even I wish him to be all right, but sometime on the other side, you're more worried about the future. This may happen. I'm more worried about that. When you talk about such issues, you're not taking out the faith, but also following us, participating or involving our procedures into that. Next slide, please. As I said before, it all happens with a multidisciplinary team. The nurses, doctors, physiotherapists, occupational therapists, religious counselor, volunteers. A lot of volunteers role is happening in our hospital. So we have a lot of people there. So they just have to go and spend some time with the patient, tell them how you are doing, what are the problems you're facing. They come across and tell us that, okay, this is what the problems the patient has been elevated of. So try to look into that. So we'll try to concentrate more on that. When the patient is not more worried about his physical pain, but he is more concerned about his colostomy, then you have to consider that, okay, what is bothering you more? Is it the pain or anything else? They'll come out of that. They may say that, okay, pain, it would be there all the time, but I can't control that. But being with the colostomy, it may get disconnected anytime and there will be a leakage around. I feel very uncomfortable and uneasy. If that is how the situation, try to elevate the problems and then you'll come to a conclusion about that. Next slide, please. This is a brief about the ostomy again, like tracheostomy care. So this should look like that. That's how all our patients. This is a metal tracheostomy, which also have an orbiturator to clean up in the inner cannula. So during the time of a surgery, after the surgery, it looks very fantastic. But the days pass on, they don't take care of that. They directly touch it, and a lot of infections enter into the lungs, and the patients may die just because of the sepsis. So putting a padding underneath is more helpful. And also the carrier powder and egg white is also been applied to the excoriations around the skin. Yeah, next slide, please. For that, we may have to provide a fine threading around the tracheostomy site, good hygiene. Tell the family that you should not be touching here and there and going back and touching the tracheostomy site. So care of the inner cannula where we have seen. And again about the care of excoriation. When there is a lot of excoriation around, so how do we do and what do we do? And patient and family education. Again, we are touching the same point again. So secure the site more comfortably. Next slide, please. Take home messages, acceptancy. The patient and family has to accept the situations. Social interactions also has to be done, and self-care efficacy and the adjustment. Social interaction and interpersonal relationships also has to be addressed and identified. Next slide, please. I think I'm up with this. Yeah, that's it. I'm up with this. Thank you.
Thank you, Soru, for the excellent presentation. Anybody have any questions? Please ask him. Anybody?
So no questions in the sense they have understood everything, nothing entered into the mind. Or you can leave a message into the chat regarding your question so that I can answer to you.
Yeah.
I hope all are awake.
I think so. Any questions or comments? Sister Alice, do you have any questions?
Yeah, sir, I wanted to know the acceptable length of the prolapse, no? I was not able to.
Oh, okay. Okay. So there are different bags even I haven't shown you to them. So there are big opening bags. We can just fix it to that. So that will be more helpful for them. Only thing is you have to measure the size of the protrusion. Based on the size of the protrusion, you can just select the bags and go forward. There are bags which have a very big opening even. Such kind of protrusions. There is a prolapse just like that. And there is nothing sometimes. There is a patient who is an end of life and there is a prolapse, like protrusion is just coming out. The opening is just like that. So there is nothing, you can just send the patient back to the surgical unit again for the corrections at this time. So do which is more better to them. So there is a bags which are having a big opening, which really doesn't need sticky bags to that. When the sticky bags are needed only when there is a lot of leakage and the protrusion is very small, less than 1.5 centimeters. So there will be a lot of leakage to that, just like a tap water coming out directly into the bowl. You do that. So it should be like that. When the connection point is somewhere close to the wall, there will be a lot of leakages. Then you may need a sticky bags, unless you can go for the normal reusable bags, more helpful.
Thank you, sir. Your presentation is very organized and very clear. Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions from other side? Questions regarding how to fix the bag? You heard about Karaya powder. Maybe I hope a lot of questions may come after the didactics too.
So I think if Karaya powder is not available, you can use zinc oxide.
Zinc oxide or even liquid paraffin for a time being, if you don't have it available. Sometimes we just use an egg white directly instead when Karaya powder is not available. An egg white can also be applied directly. It also helps in good healing process.
Yes.
Can we go up to the presentation then?
Yeah, we can go. So, Dr. Rajani, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, we can start.
Thank you, Shiva ma'am. And
Yeah.
thank you, Sarup sir. You have covered very nicely this topic. And I
Thank
think
you,
all the
madam.
dimension and you have shared your experience. That is really wonderful to hear. And
Thank you so
curry
much.
powder and egg white is really a new learning for me.
Oh,
And it is
thank you.
like, I'll proceed with my presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Uh, so the presentation is on the ostomy care. I am here presenting this case. So this patient is 42-year-old male with a diagnosis of the colorectal cancer. Presenting complaints of the patient are leakage of feces from the stoma site, intermittent abdominal pain, difficulty in getting pouching system due to stoma granuloma. History of illness, intermittent rectal bleeding is there, abdominal pain and change in bowel habits, abdominal distension secondary to intestinal obstruction. He was diagnosed with a colorectal cancer. Formation of permanent end colostomy was made. Radiation therapy and chemotherapy done following the surgery. So on examination, patient was found to have an abdominal distension, decreased bowel sound. His abdomen contour were uneven, left side higher than the right side. Granuloma present around the stoma site. So the treatment and investigation, ultrasonography, colonoscopy, biopsy of the stomal tissue, ECG and chest X-ray done for this patient. Psychosocial aspects. So patient is a married, wife is 38-year-old, one son and one daughter. The son is working, daughter is still studying. They are Hindu by religion. He is a farmer by profession. Wife is a homemaker. His source of hope is from his family, especially the son. So medication is paracetamol, loperamide, pantoprazole, and zinc oxide paste. So main concern is self-care concern, body image, self-esteem concern, relationship concern. So summary, the patient is diagnosed with a colorectal cancer and a colostomy was made. 6 months later, he returned with complaints of intermittent abdominal pain and leakage of feces from the stoma side. Examination and some investigation done to see the overall condition of the patient stoma and was admitted for colonoscopy and biopsy of the stomal tissue. So the discussion point is how we will teach the patient and relative regarding the stoma care, how to increase the patient's self-esteem regarding his body image. So this is all about the case presentation. So these are the discussion point, and Sarup sir has very nicely covered all the aspects in this, taking care of the patient, individual, including individual care, to the peer support, emotional support, and counseling, communicating well with the patient. So this is all about.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Rajini, for the excellent presentation. So anybody would like to ask any more clarification regarding this patient story, please ask. So otherwise, we can move on to the discussion points. The first question the Swarup has already covered, but we would like to hear from the participant side, how will we teach the patient and relative regarding the stoma care? Swarup? You can put your answers in the chat box or unmute yourself and talk.
Shipa, can you hear me?
Yes.
I lost my connection just some time ago.
Okay, yeah, now I can
Rejoined.
hear you.
What was the question? Like,
so for the first question is, how will we teach the patient and relative regarding the stoma care? You already covered all the
exactly.
things.
Yeah.
So we would like to hear from the participant side. So
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
I'm grateful. So anybody?
Ma'am, in CMC Vellore, what they do is there is a stoma nurse who goes around helping the stoma patients. And what they do is when they are teaching the patient, they try to connect them with another patient who's also a stoma patient, who's an old stoma patient, who is already comfortable with his condition. So then they form a group. So they teach each other. I think this will really help because they can relate to each other better.
Okay, yes, that is very nice to hear from you. So, what is your experience, Suru? Do you have such groups there? Suru, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have such groups like that? Colostomy patients groups.
Exactly. But in India, I haven't seen many of such expert nurses there. But when you talk about that, lot of team working together, like I'm specifically training such nurses. Like we have two nurses who have been training in stoma care right now, and also there is a nurse who has been training in lymphedema management. So I have seen these practices happening in abroad. Many of our countries, they just do that. There are specific nurses who specialize in colostomy. They just come in and see that and observe that colostomy. But still, a lot of our nurses have been trained more. Like all the nurses have to take that chance and come in and do that. That's how I feel.
Okay, thank you.
Even we do have introstomal therapists who are nurses only, and they are actually from starting from the stoma marking to the teaching and explaining to the relatives. Actually, it is very challenging, what I feel, to teach the village patient. So this everything they are teaching them through video, through audio, leaflets they are giving. So it plays a very important role. This counseling and peer support is actually, it is as sir said, it is not, no one, I don't think so there is any peer group or support group it is in India. But it would be very good if they see any other patient or share the experience. It boosts their morale also, and they accept their condition.
Okay. So, Dr. Rajani, what was his main concerns?
This actually his main concern as uh, regarding this body image, and actually relationship concern, self-care concern, because a patient means a newly stoma patient, how it feels. You have a new means like a opening in abdomen where from where the feces used to pass, and if you are working, since he is a farmer, so this body care concern and like mm, social issues, like most of, like in a village side or farmer, they are not much aware, and so self-care concern is a very important concern for him. Body image, because all the time he has to carry his, this stoma bag, and self-esteem concern was there for him.
Okay. So, I think you could suggest colostomy irrigation for these patients.
Yeah.
So,
Madam, do you
Suru?
have the hospital administration there? Like, when you put a patient who is on colonic irrigation, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
So
We
the
have a
patient
stoma
need to be,
clinic.
that would be better. Maybe the patient can be reviewed every day, and so that the family can learn more about that.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
So, yeah, once they irrigate, the whole day they will be free, no? So, they can prevent the skin excoriation also and leakage also if they do the colostomy irrigation.
Yes.
So, and nowadays, the literature said we can able to start the colostomy irrigation after 3 weeks of surgery. So before we said 3 months after surgery, but if the patient is taking any anti-cancer treatment like chemotherapy or radiotherapy, so you can once you finish the treatment, you can start the irrigation. Otherwise, you can start the irrigation after 6 weeks of surgery. That is the new information. I got it from regional cancer center ostomy nurse. That two months before I had a discussion with her, she said they will start the irrigation after 6 weeks of surgery. Post-operative period also they take. So
Yeah. Hello. Yes, Shiva. I don't see any questions in the chat even. None of them are raising any questions. It's a bit hard for the faculty to do so.
We are all nurses. Nurses, please. At least one question. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
I am just wondering, I don't know, maybe it was already discussed. My line was interrupted for a few times, so I don't know was that discussed or not. But just to ask you one thing about the stomach care. Do we have anything in India that's like, you know, when we change the stomach bag or when we are dealing with the stomach bag, just to prevent the odor, is there any natural stuff or anything like that we use there? Or is there anything available, I wonder?
Swaroop?
Yeah. Shiva,
Yeah.
I didn't get that. I lost my connection again.
Yeah.
Am I audible now?
Yes. Can you repeat that question, Sister Shelby?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, I was wondering, like, when we are dealing with the stoma, like, you know, even when it is emptying or any dealing with the stoma, do we have anything there to prevent the odor? Not to prevent the odor, like, you know, even just to subside the odor a little bit, or just to make the patient, the environment. Any natural
That's a good
stuff
question. Like, you know, frankly to say, there are few colostomy bags which are available, but the carbon plated inside. A small strip has also been placed into that, which absorbs the bad odor into this. Number one. Number two, the dietary changes has to be done. So whenever you try to add literally some new foods into this, you may have such problems. It might not be a continuous process, or it could be a stomach infections may also lead to the bad odor into this. So what I prefer is there are few bags which can really control that. Frequently wash the bags. Try to change the dietary habits. That's what we can say.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Next question, how to increase the patient's self-esteem regarding his body image?
Yeah. Does somebody wanted to answer to that question? Because it is all the basic question, but still,
Yes.
I would like to listen from the team.
Yes. Any answers? No. Meera, are you there? Lutia?
Are we getting any answers?
Hello,
to
ma'am.
that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm here,
Any
ma'am.
answers? Yeah, any answers? If there is one patient like this in your hospital, how can you manage this problem? No answers. Yeah, Sister Lovely.
Hello.
Any answers? Yeah.
Like, I feel the patient should be empowered to take care of himself, even the patient and the family. And that itself will improve his self-esteem, especially like taking care of his skin care. I mean, and
Your
also
voice is
how
breaking.
he has to take
Sister Lovely, your voice is breaking.
and use the same type of cooking oil, same type of cooking oil they prevent the diarrhea. And all these
So sister, we can't hear you.
Sister Lovely?
Counseling may be given, like maybe to improve the subject. Thank you.
Sister Lovely, we can't hear you. Sister Lovely? Sister Jency, are you there? Sister Shelby?
I was thinking that as Sister Alice has mentioned earlier on, counseling is very important, and then this meantime, as the like the group they have, I think it is very important and it is very helpful for the patients, I suppose, and then it will be very helpful for the healthcare providers as well, because if they see somebody in the very similar situation and if they can correlate their problem with the other people's problem, I think they will be able to get some little console over it. And then as well as that, as they have to carry the stoma bag everywhere they go, and then the body image is a major issue for them, I suppose. If they could, if it is possible, and if they could wear the clothes that is appropriate, and people cannot see the stoma bag, and then if they needed to change, if they are in with the public people, if it is a cloth that is that they can manage easily to change the stoma bag, things like that, I think a little bit of help as well. But unfortunately the bag has to be there, so counseling will be very important for them to get to the acceptance stage.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Dr. Rajani,
Yeah, yes.
you want to say something?
No. The ma'am said very rightly. And as sir has also discussed, that holistic approach should be there to boost the confidence of the patient to accept the body image. So like approach, it should include physical, social and psychological concern of the patient. We should have a frequent like clarification or questioning session with the patient, so that the patient can boost up his confidence and can live normal life, normal quality of life with the stoma. So this is,
Yeah. So we can always listen to the patients and family members' concerns first. Then based on that, if there is a more psychosocial issues there, definitely we can give us counseling for the patient as well as the caregivers too.
yes.
Okay. Saru?
Yes, Shiva. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
You want to add anything more?
No, Shiva, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all.
So can we
Thank you.
wind up this session?
Yeah, sure.